I want to talk about the change in the gender demographic. We are bringing in a lot of single men into this country, and particularly men from a lower education rate and socioeconomic background. That's where it starts getting worrying. And I've done some research on this about the consequences of having that imbalance in society where you have too many men and not enough women. Now, we have in this country and in most countries experienced where we've had too many women, and that's obviously because of wars and battles. When that happens, it's not good. You want to get a balance right, but it's manageable. Okay, so the consequences are not as catastrophic when there's slightly more women than men. When it tips over to more men, which has never happened in this country before, there are some dire consequences. So let's talk about the incel movement. I mean, you ain't seen nothing yet. I can see that men are becoming increasingly disillusioned with dating. Women are too.
Where's society going here? Because you're right. The previous waves of migration, even in the 60s and 70s from the Commonwealth, you had primarily women and children coming. And obviously you had a few men as well. But now it's like 99% at this point on boats. Men.
We've always had creeps in society. You know, like I said, I grew up in the 90s as a teenage girl. There were always creeps about, okay? But really, the main thing was you get wolf whistled at by a bunch of guys and scaffolding. And sometimes it felt a little bit embarrassing. I get it. Some women don't. I don't mind it. I'm at that age now. I was like, I'll take it. But, you know, I get it, but it was harmless. You know, they weren't going to follow you, those guys. They're on their tea break. They saw you. They whistled. That was it. I call that being cheeky. What I'm getting now is something sinister. So I live in probably one of the best parts of London. You know, houses here, million plus, easy. And there's a small park near me that I used to go to. And I won't go there anymore because there are just migrant men hanging about. Some of them don't do anything. They don't care. But there are some unhinged men, very unhinged men. And they're coming up to me and they're making me feel uncomfortable. And they're not walking in the park to get somewhere. They're going around in circles, you know. And I see a lot of women and they're walking their little chihuahuas and stuff, very beautiful women. And you can see like they're also like starting to not go there so much. I see them less and less. And it really got to me when I went to the local library. I took my son. And he's like 10 years old, took him to the library. And I said, why are all these migrant men, not women, migrant men, just milling about in a library with children? I'm not saying they were looking at the children, but it does make you feel like, what are you doing here? And again, I'm not living in the ghetto. I'm living in the best areas of London. You never saw this. And this has happened, as I said, warp speed since COVID. Before that, you know, you saw it now and again, but now it's just like you've got all these hotels and men just standing outside all day.